Amigos of life, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to do a different kind of video. It's not only gonna be a deck profile, it's also gonna be an analysis of the deck that we played. That was pure yummy. We got top 8 with it at YCS Mérida, Mexico. It's an analysis of the deck, an analysis of the matchups that we played and the tournament overall. And why, and I want to share with you why I think this deck is so good, like the best pick, at least for me. And I'm gonna do it in English because I want people that are playing the North American YCS get to this knowledge so they can use it, and maybe someone can take this deck and win the whole event. It would be amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna go over every matchup that we played. I want to show you some tips that I usually do with Yummy Pure. So you can apply it also, and also like open discussion, like share my thoughts, and I would love to see your thoughts about what I talk about in this video. So we can have a discussion in the comments, like, and we can all grow together and be better Yu-Gi-Oh players. My goal, I've never talked about this, but like in public. But my personal goal, is to become the best Yu-Gi-Oh player like ever. I know it's a huge goal. I'm far away from getting there. But I do think I'm on the right track. Like, I've been preparing a lot. I've been performing okay. And I want to get to the next level. I want to be the best. And I want to share with you my way to reach my goals. And yep, I'm gonna start with the deck profile, but I'm also gonna stop in every card how I play those cards, like what are the lines that I usually go with every card, why I play them, and like how to play around every card with those. So let's start with the video. First of all, I want to give some shout outs. You can skip this part if you want, but I want to shout out a lot my family and my girlfriend and my girlfriend's family. We all went to this trip together to Mérida. We went for a vacation, and they respected a lot my time, my way of being, that all the days that we spent on vacation, I was 100% testing. Like, I was on DV 24/7, Dueling Book, preparing for this event. And I'm sorry, but they understand that this is my passion. This is what I'm all about. And yeah, love you all. I really appreciate you all. It was amazing sharing with you, at least those dinners, those moments that we were together. It was amazing, and I wouldn't be able to do all this that I'm achieving every time a bit more without your support. So let's go with the deck and with the analysis that I want to share with you. So this is the deck that I played with. It's 40 cards main deck, 15 extra deck, 15 side deck. And first of all, I'm gonna show you some prizes that I won. I was bounty player, and we got a Starlight Lemnis Gate in the pack, so it was pretty cool. We got some more prizes like Effect Baylor, Card Trooper, some dices that I really enjoyed. These dices. We have some of past YCSs, and I usually use these ones. The black ones, they look very nice. I love them. I always lose the roll with them, but it doesn't matter. I still like them. I'm losing the roll anyway, so fuck it. We got the day 2 pack with the Pot of Desires. I love these cards, so I'm very happy about it. We also got some sleeves and Steam Deck. Prices are not the main goal, but they are all appreciated to pay for all these flights that I'm trying to pay. I'm trying to do all the American events, South America, Central America, and North America. So it has been expensive, very expensive. So these prices are well received. So I'm gonna start with the main deck. We played 20 engine, 20 non-engine. One thing that I like a lot about this deck is the absurd amount of non-engine that we can play. I really like it, and also the specific defensive cards that we can play that pair very good with our deck is why I also picked this deck. And also the crazy consistency, because we have 20 engine cards, right? And of these 20 engine cards, 17 of them are 1-card combos. That is a little bit above 95% or around 95% of consistency. And we have the 3 that I used to call bricks, but they're sometimes they are extenders, and I do like these cards a lot. I'm not that mad when I open them. So let's start with the cats. First of all, we have the 3 marshmallows. If we only have this card in our hand, we usually activate its effect. But now there are more K9 decks, so we have to play around Izuna a little bit more. So sometimes if they are on 40 cards or 40, like near to 40, I might normal summon this card. Like if I know I'm playing against a K9, I'm not gonna use the effect of this card ever, like ever in the duel, unless I know their whole hand. But I'm gonna show you how the 1-card combos are of every cat. So, but first I'm gonna show you the ratios I played. Was 3 marshmallows, 3 capsies. These are usually the best starters because this doesn't waste your normal summon, and this immediately gives you a +1, so you can play around more hand traps, so it's nice. We played 3 cookies and we played 2 lollipops. I wish I could play the 3rd one. I might try to include it in a format where you don't have to play that much non-engine, but this one is a format that you need all the non-engine you can because of the existence of Yami Mitsurugi. That deck, if you let them play, then you're losing 100%. Like their mid board is way too much. Like even IP, Murakumo, Prayers, and the trap set is way too much. Like we cannot cannot break that board with engine, at least, unless we have like a crazy hand, but usually we were not able to. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do with like a regular Yami name, like first without a capsi. So it would be any of these 8 Yamis. So if we happen to start with, let's say, a cookie, we go for a link 1. We use the effect. We usually, if we have 2 cats, for example, like if we have like Lollipop and Cookie, for example, there are some people that go normal summon, link 1, don't use the effect, and then go special summon the other Yami name. So Imperm or Veiler never gets any value, but I want to get some knowledge and try to waste all the cards in my opponent's hand. So that's why even if I have another card in my hand, I'm still using Snatch effect. I want them to waste their imperm so they cannot imperm my herald on their turn. So I go Snatch effect. We go into the field spell. Usually minion. And then, even though we have another card in hand, we usually go minion effect chariot because Ghost Belt is being played a lot, and Ghost Belt can be annoying if they are like they have a big engine hand and Ghost Belt to pair with that hand. Then Ghost Belt can be annoying if we tag out an important synchro, then they Ghost Belt us, then we lose that tag out, and it can conflict with our game plan. So it's better just to make them waste it here. So I go effect, go for cookie, and then of course we go for Capsi Yummy Way. Here we have two choices. We're always gonna, like, if we only started with cookie, we're always gonna get Marshmallow and Capsi, right? But we have two choices here. We either add these two and discard another card from our hand, or we discard one of these, usually always the Marshmallow. Those are the two choices. Like if I have a strong 4-card non-engine hand, I would probably just discard the Marshmallow, unless one of these is like a 2-off. Like 2 copies of the same card, So we'll go for an example. We'll show both cases. So if we go for these and we want to keep all the cards in our hand, we go and discard Marshmallow. Then on resolution, there is one scenario in which our opponent can chain draw. So here we have this in graveyard. If our opponent chains draw, I usually tag out Capsi Yummy Way and special summon these two. Now on resolution, there's a secret effect of Marshmallow which not many people use. I've seen that mistake a lot. So the plan here is to tag out, go effect on resolution to place a field spell from the deck or banishment to the field. So we get a Croaky. This is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th summon. So if they want to Nib us, they have to Nib us here. And it would be amazing for us because we still have a cat in hand and we haven't gone through our Lodipo play. So we're in a very good position. So we go effect of the Marshmallow and place a Croaky. This is like the draw scenario. Then I will continue with the other scenario. Then we would go for Lollipop Yumi Way. And here we can special summon these two. Here we are still like Nib proof in a certain way. So I usually go for a synchro here. I synchro these for Marshall, Meta Marcher. We go effect, special summon these. So we're under draw. We can here make a Herald. Then link this off for Snatchy and special summon a Copsy. I have this kind of setup, which is very strong against 4 cards and the 5th card in hand of our opponent. But it's like kind of weak into imperm. But I mean, we would have to negate it. So it's not like ideal. So maybe what you can do if you want to play around imperm, which is like much more popular right now, is just ending on something like this and not going for Herald. It would be like this in hand, and you can special summon, like with the effect of this guy, you special summon 2, then you can, I usually leave this one on field because it's the less, it has the less value of the checkout. So you can end on this, which is very solid against imperm. You already have one cutting, one snatching graveyard, which is the ideal. We have strong follow-up with Capsi and all the follow-up that we will get from going into Capsi Yummy Way and later discarding maybe one Capsi, then getting Capsi back, adding to hand. So it's a very decent board around draw. If we don't get drawn, so we were in this position, we were in the Capsi Yummy Way, right? So we had the Capsi Yummy Way with this field spell, whited these two, and discarded the Marshmallow. So this is our graveyard. We have this in hand. No draw and rest. Okay, we go for a link one. We go for snatching. We can special summon Capsi, go Capsi effect. Now we're protected around, we can play around the imperm here if they decided to keep it for Capsi, like trying to hit Capsi here. So we get to surprise. And now we can go for the same play as before with the Lollipop Yumi Way. We go effect and special summon these two, for example. I usually here to play around Nibiru, link these two off for an SP. Then we play surprise, special summon this one, add this one to hand, and set this. This doesn't look crazy, but believe me, it is very good. It is very strong to have the SP, the tag out of these, and the surprise interruption if we like either the one the effect of bouncing two or special summoning in case this gets stopped by a ghost bell or anything. So we have like very decent backup plans, like it a lot. So this is our usual field spell. There is also the scenario where we add this and this, and we end up discarding another card from hand. Like any other card would be this scenario, right? So if we happen to have like a Mulcharmy game one, an extra Mulcharmy, like we just want to discard it because it's not gonna do much in our hand. Here we can go for Marshmallow effect. Then we can special summon Capsi. Capsi is gonna add surprise, right? Surprise. We get surprise to our hand. So if they want to, if we activated a card from hand, so they can use the canines. But if they use the canines early, while we have this card in hand, we can just tag out special summon Capsi and pop the Izuna before they can like use the Lupis. So we're in this scenario, and I usually want to hold this synchro until the end, until I have a Herald on field. So here we can go for Martial Metal Marcher, go effect, special summon Capsi, and here we can use these two for a Herald. Now we are safe around any single card. Then we go link one into snatching. We activate surprise and special summon. We go effect to add this back. Then we go, now we go for our Lollipop. Lollipop's gonna use its effect. We're gonna summon two of the little guys and link this off for our third snatchy. That's why playing 3 is so important, at least in pure. And we have surprise set. So here we can see that discarding an extra card from our hand gets us to a much stronger board. So I usually, even though I have like 4 strong non-engines, I still like discard the worst of them and go for this play, which is like, if I get to this end board, it's pretty much game over. Even though like if they jar ruler me, we still have surprise. So we still have like all the Yami's interruptions. So it's a lot, it's a lot. And that's the play with any Yami name. If we start with Capsi, I'm not gonna show you that combo, but it's pretty much the same. Like you end up on the same, but you play better around draw, I guess. Like if you have Capsi and any other name, you have the option to start with Capsi or with the other name. I usually start with the other name because if they draw last, we can get to the end board that I showed you after draw. So that is a very good end board, and we make them waste a card from their hand. So if that ruler was much more like, if there was a format where we have Dark Ruler and draw, then I would normal summon Capsi 100%. But the Dark Ruler is being less played, so I wouldn't do that. I would just try to bait my opponent, to imperm the Snatchy, to Ghost Bell the Minion, the field spell, to Ash the Capsi Yumi way. So yeah, that's what I usually try to do with the Yami names. So as I show you, 11 names. And let's go for the other engine in our deck. So the cards are here. For more consistency, we played the Engage package, the Engages and the drones. Here we also have a very like strange way to play that I usually don't see in other players. And I'm gonna show you the combo. Also, if you happen to have like a Yami and Engage, you don't want to get drawn, right? So Engage ends up being just an extender. I'm gonna show you how I play our hand with one any name and one Engage, and I'm gonna show you now how I play it with only Engage. So if they have draw or anything, this starter loses to any hand trap, to Baylor, draw, even like Ghost Bell, Ghost Bell, Ogre, anything. But we go Engage for drones. So drones for token. Then we go for Kagari at back drones, activate drones, we get the token. So all good here. We go for our synchro, Capsi Yami way, and we go effect. If this goes through, then it's broken. We add these two, and we usually discard a random card from our hand. I mean the worst cards from our hand. We usually don't discard these because of what I explained to you. Like the end board we end up making is way weaker. Also with this setup, we can play very good around any hand trap, and like any other hand trap, like Nibiru, or like any hand trap that they wanted to keep in hand, like maybe an Ash for the Capsi, a Baylor for the Capsi, an Imperm for the Capsi. We can play very good around that. So we're gonna add this and discard other card from our hand. Here I usually go for Marshmallow effect. So we have this on field. Then I go for Metal Marcher. So this is not a common play that I've seen in my opponents. We go for Metal Marcher, we go effect target Capsi. So we're here. If they nib us, we're in a very good scenario because we just make the token into a link spider, and then special summon Capsi. We haven't used the lollipop, so as you can see, we always try to bait the Nibiru before committing lollipop into the field. So we have Martial Metal Marcher, Capsi Yummy Way. We go link 1 for Snatchy. We go Snatchy effect. Remember, if they are wasting imperms here, ghost bells here, it doesn't matter. We have a normal summon, so we're still trading like a lot for just one card and a discard. Here we go for Mignon. And with Mignon, we go effect. We target the Marshmallow. So remember, if they need us here, we haven't gone for Lollipop, so we're fine. And here we go Synchro to protect our Capsi resolving. We go for Herald. Now we go special Capsi effect, we get surprise. Now we go for Lollipop, now that we're safe against everything. We go Lollipop effect, we special summon these two. I link off Marshmallow usually for Snatchy, and then we can go surprise, special summon Marshmallow. I usually summon it in attack because of the attack boost, and then Marshmallow gets us surprise back. So we end on the ideal field. Like you can even see like we played better around Niv with engage. That's why I like engage a lot, and also we end up with one extra body here with engage plays. Now, if we happen to have engage and another cat, so we have engage and let's say Cookie again, like it could be any cat. So here we don't want to risk our opponent having draw and just losing because we didn't play well. So we normal summon Cookie, we go for Snatchy, and remember, always activating Snatchy, go effect, make them waste the imperm. We have the backup plan, so let's make them waste the imperms. We go for Mignon, now effect, target. We try to make them waste maybe their Bestials, their Ghost Bell. We don't care, we just want to make our opponent have less cards to play with. If they only have one interruption and they waste it here, it's pretty much game over because we get to full combo. So we go for Mignon, target with Cookie, then we go for Synchro into Capsi Yummy Way. We make Capsi Yummy Way in the extra monster zone. This is very important. And then with Capsi Yummy Way, we get Marshmallow, Capsi, and now we can discard Marshmallow. So after this, if our opponent doesn't have draw, we can play the engage. If our opponent has draw, remember, we can tag this out, special summon these two, effect, place the field spell, and then we play very good around Nibiru. So if we don't get drawn, we can go engage now before committing Capsi. So engage gets us drones. We can play drones and get our token. So now we are playing very good around Nibiru because this token cannot be tributed, so we have another play here. We just special summon Capsi. If we have another cat, we special summon the other cat and make this play without using Capsi, not yet. But if we only have that combination of engage and any cat, now we can special summon Capsi, go Capsi effect, add surprise. Then we use these two for Martial Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher target this guy. So remember, if they leave us here, it's okay. This token is gonna leave. We're gonna get another token from Niv, and we still have surprise. So and we haven't committed Lollipop, so we're very, 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 very good, in a very good spot. We're gonna get rid of the token, everything, so we're good. Now we use Marcher and the token to go for Herald. Then we link this off. I usually link this off before committing Surprise because I don't want them to have a free imperm that baits our Herald. So we go for link 1. Then we go Surprise. Surprise is gonna summon Marshmallow. Marshmallow is gonna get Surprise back. Then we can play with the Lollipop, and it's the same thing as always. We get Marshmallow, Yummy, Capsi Yummy, and then we use Capsi for the third Snatchy. So we have our ideal end board, with the Surprise set, the Herald, 1 tag out, and the Synchros to interrupt earlier, like with a Book of Moon or anything. So this is a very, very strong board, and I hope you can see why I like Engage so much. Like these kind of openings are very, very safe into any 1 or 2 hand traps. I like it a lot. So, okay. So as I said, these are our extra 1-card combos, 1-card starters, And I don't know where I left my other engages, but it doesn't matter. And the last 1-card combos we have are Obedience Cult and Prosperity. So I'm gonna show you how I play with Obedience Cult now. Prosperity is just like, I don't know how to say it, but like a card that can become anything, so we're not gonna talk much about it. Here we have the other engages. I'm gonna show you how I play with Obedience Cult. Also, I want to show you now that Purulia is picking up more in popularity because of K9 decks and everything, like the K9 and Banky Soul mainly. I'm gonna show you how I play around Purulia with Obedience and with Engage later. So let's start with Obedience. This is like not playing around Purulia, but like straight up going for the 1-card combo that Obedience provide us, which is amazing. This is like the best card in the deck for sure. So we go for Obedience. We get these 3 little guys. Then we go for Snatchy using Capsi Yummy. Here we go Snatchy effect, place Minion. Here someone would go for Minion target Capsi, right? But we don't want to do that. We want to go for a Synchro now. It also depends, like if you want to play around Droll or anything, but if your opponent wastes this Droll here, like you're still like in a huge card advantage, so it doesn't matter. We go for Capsi Yummy Way, and Capsi is gonna get us another Capsi, and we usually get a Lollipop and discard the Lollipop, so we have all the names in rotation. This Capsi will become follow-up or a special summon if we have to do it. Then we get to Snatchy, and now we use the Minion effect, target Capsi. Why I do it this way? So I try to play around the Bestials. I try to play around Nibiru, because if our opponent needs us, we have normal summon, so we can normal summon these. We haven't used Minion, so we're in a good position. And also against the Bestials, like Magnamut can be pretty annoying. Also with this setup, with this starter, we cannot get to SP to clear the Bestials, like either Druid's Worm is very annoying, Druid's Worm or Magnamut. So I usually do this play to play around bestials that are kind of popular this format because of Malice being a very played deck, and Dracotail, they always have a Magnamut either in the main deck or in the side deck. So I really recommend this kind of play. We go now Mignon, we charge the Capsi, we go Capsi effect to get the surprise, right? So now we use surprise, we special summon Marshmallow, and we go Marshmallow effect, charge surprise, and we get surprise back, then we can set it. Here Nib is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. So if you want to play around Nib, you usually don't search Lollipop, you just search another cookie. And like what I do is, if I have a card in my hand that I want to discard, Charmis or anything, with Obedience, I special summon the Lollipop. So Lollipop would be engraved. Then at these two, discard the other card from our hand. So this would be the scenario. If we get nipped here, because this is gonna be our end board, I mean. We don't wanna waste our Lollipop when we start with Obedience, because we want to keep it in our extra deck in case we get nipped, which is like the worst case scenario. That's not even like that bad. So if we get nipped here, sure, we get nipped, we get a beautiful token that we cannot use for Link Spider because we are under Obedience, so we're locked into Beast. Now we can normal summon Cookie, go effect, lower the attack of Nibiru. Then we can go Link 1 into our third Snatchy, then go special summon Capsi. We have two Snatchy in graveyard, and now we can go for Lollipop Yumiway, and Lollipop can get us to these two. And if we have we don't have like enough snatches here, but we can just end on these, and then with the tag out of this guy we can get to the other snatchy that is gonna use this for a synchro summon. So we give this body that even if it's negated, we give it some value. Also with surprise we can do that play. And remember that our opponent's Nib has some lower attack. So having three bodies and Lollipop here, they can't run over Lollipop Yumiway. That is the most important tag out that we need. In our opponent turn, we can make Lollipop again, special summon two bodies, then go for Herald prep. We can make a Herald like in our opponent's turn, like we used to do. And that's a very good play. Like if you can see, Obedience gives 0 draws and full combo against Purulia. Like we never summoned from hand. We only summoned from hand in the scenario that we got nipped. So it's very broken Obedience into Purulia. Very, very good. It did happen once that we got Purulia and we opened Obedience School and it was amazing. I'm gonna show you also how we play around Purulia with one engage. So if we open engage against Purulia, right? Well, I'm gonna leave a Purulia here so you know that I'm playing around this. We're gonna go for engage. Like they usually are gonna shotgun these in standby phase for sure. So we go engage, drones. Drones gets us the token. The token becomes Kagari. Kagari adds back token. So until now, 0 draws. We go Capsi Yumiway. And here we have also some scenarios where we can have another cat in hand already, or if we happen to have no cats, we go for display. Add these two, discard this one. If they draw here, okay, there are three cards down, so they're in a bad spot. So it's awesome if they draw us here. Then we go link one into Snatchy. Snatchy places field spell. Now we can go field spell, try Capsy. Capsy is gonna get us to surprise. Remember, still no zero draws from Purulia. We use these two for a Lollipop Yummy Wave, and we summon these two guys. Now we use our goat, the Starham. We go effect, discard the Marshmallow to special summon one of the materials and make it tuner. So here we go for Herald, and then we can go for surprise. Surprise, special summon Marshmallow. Marshmallow gets surprise back, and we can set surprise and have this setup. If they happen to normal summon like any Yummy without using the effect, we can just straight up go surprise, special summon, go effect, place the other field spell, and then go for a Book of Moon or a pop there. So against Purulia, we didn't give them any draws, and we end on almost the ideal field spell end board. Just we're just missing one Snatch here, but it's okay. But it's a very good end board. So that's how I play around Purulia. And that's like the combos that I usually do. Now I'm gonna show you the other parts of the deck. Well, we have the three bricks. We just showed the 17 one-card combos, including the Prosperity. If we have Prosperity, we usually use it as an extender. We don't start with it unless we want to. We have the Obedience Cult. Like if they draw us and we have Obedience Cult, it doesn't matter. So we can start with this if we have this. And we start with this because we want to bait Ash. So we can grab, if they don't chain anything, we can grab an Ash, Cold Bite to protect our Obedience Cult from Fuwalos, from Ash, or anything. So I was talking about the three breaks. They are extenders in my opinion. Like I usually say they are breaks, but now I feel like they are extenders for sure. If we have two cats, like imagine we have two cats or one cat, and this is our top deck, and we wasted 3 hand traps stopping our opponent, right? So we used 3 hand traps. Their board should be almost nothing. So we have to worry now for the hand traps, the set cards that they might have. So imagine like we wasted the 3 hand traps, then we top deck any other cat. So this would be our hand. We can go for field spell, normal summon, link this off for Snatchy. Not using Snatch effects, then we can special summon, synchro these two into Capsy Wave. We can go chain 1, chain 2, target any back row or any body that our opponent has. So we chain like Capsy, that's very broken. And we also are playing safe around like any like Horn from Dragotail, bouncing our normal summon. We then can special summon from deck our Capsy, and we're pretty much winning the game. So after playing, like baiting all our opponents' interruptions, clearing their back row, their bodies, we then can go later on the combo, we can go for Snatchy, and then Snatchy can get us to the other field spell. And from there we can just OTK. as you guys know, this deck is amazing OTKing. So I'm not that mad about opening this card in my first hand, going second. If we happen to have 2 of these, then I'm 100% very mad, but it doesn't matter. If we happen to open this one, we can go for, like, same scenario, right? We can go for a normal summon, then go for Snatchy. Snatchy can place the other field spell, the Croaky. So we're gonna hold this one for like an extender, and we can play safe with the Croaky. Same thing, special summoning the other cat, synchro summoning, chaining 1, chaining 2, pop a back row. If they chain anything, like, we can chain these, get 2 more bodies. This can pop a thing, so it's very good to have the field spells in hand. Now we don't have to worry about us not being able to OTK because we already have this in hand. We don't have to search it with Capsy, so it's broken. If something happens, I mean, if we want to play safe, like for example with this field spell, and we don't have this in hand, right? We can still like go with through our plays with this field spell off of Snatchy. Then with like getting to Capsy, main Capsy Marshmallow, right? Like Capsy can later search for this field spell, but also I usually don't do that. Like I just go Capsy, Capsy gets surprised. And later in the combo, like later in like pushing through our opponent's board, we usually are gonna like, we use this field spell. So we can get to a position where we can go Lollipop Yumi Way. I mean, this is in deck, we have like a random card in hand. We can go to Lollipop Yumi Way, we can special summon 2. And then we go to our Starham. Starham can pitch a card from our hand. We can special summon these. This can use its effect because it was summoned from off of a Synchro monster. Send this to the graveyard, get this field spell. This is a light beast, level 4 or lower, so we can link this off for Snatchy. Then we can go effect, special summon any Yami, and then we have more than 8,000 on board. So it's very broken, and we still haven't used this one, so we can just link this off for another Snatchy, and then go surprise, and special summon the Marshmallow, so we have even more damage. It's very crazy how having one playing with the 2 field spells can bait out our opponent's interruptions, and then we can still OTK with Minion. I do this a lot. I did this very much against our opponents from YCS Pittsburgh, YCS Mérida. It's very good to know you have these ins and outs, so you can OTK and just close the game as soon as possible. If you can't close the game there, like, it doesn't matter. You still, like, if you end up like clearing their board and you end on something like this, like, you still have a lot of follow-up. Like, I mean, a lot of interruptions in their turn, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that was what I wanted to say with our bricks. That there are no longer bricks, they are now extenders. So broken cards. Now let's get to the other half of the deck, that is the non-engine. So the non-engine are 16 hand traps and 4 breakers, quote unquote. So let's go with the hand traps first. Of course, Fualos, like, it's the I think it's the best hand trap right now. Like, it's the only hand trap that makes your opponent not end on a full board. It's very good. We have the 3 ashes just to stop Fualos. Like, that's the main reason that we play Ash. We have some ghost belts, 2 ghost belts. I didn't like this in the last YCS. In YCS Pittsburgh, I did like it a lot because we played against a lot of Draco Tails. Now we played against only 2 of them. So in the whole tournament, like 13 rounds, we only played 2. That was pretty much expected because Draco Tail is being less represented now with the K9, more K9 decks, Banky Soul and all that. So I should have played 2 Baylor instead of these. Like when I had these, they didn't do much. I like twice I used these on the Malice field spell and ended up working out, but it's not a great card in my opinion. Like I think we can all agree on that. We played 2 Nibs. This does conflict with some cards of our engine like Engage, Drones, and Obedience Schools. It did happen that it conflicted a lot in our last round of Swiss against Christian Urena. We ended up like stopping our opponent, like making him end on just a token. Like that was his end board because we had like Nibiru, Ash, and another hand trap. But we had Engage, and Obedience Cult in hand. So we couldn't get rid of the Nibiru in our field, and we ended up losing because of that. Because the token of the Nib token always summon it in attack unless you already have like plenty of cats in hand, like maybe a droplet to get rid of these. It was at 2200 tokens, so we couldn't crash. And we didn't have like any normal summon to get rid of this. I'm gonna show you now how I get rid of Nibiru and why I played Nib, because we know that it does conflict, but we can get rid of it from our main monster zone at least. I mean, from our board in general. So more hand traps. We played the Dominus Purge. As time goes on, I like more this card. This is a very good card also in the format against the K9 decks, and that's one of the reasons also why this deck keeps being a very good deck, is because you can play cards like Dominus, Purge, and Imperm, and this is like one of the only decks of the format that can play, like competitive decks that can play the Purge and the Imperms, which are hand traps that are not monsters, of course, and we don't turn on the Izunas. Like, it's very, very good to have that. And Imperm was very, very good against everything but Yami Mitsurugi. So against Yami Mitsurugi, this almost never do anything. We played against like 4 Yami Mitsurugis, and seeing this card felt horrible. So that's our 16 hand traps. Those are our 16 hand traps. And the breakers are Droplets and the Cold Bag. I think these cards are very, very good positioned right now against Izuna. If it happened to like game 1, maybe we just activate these to play around more cards, and we accidentally we turn on an Izuna. So with Droplets you can just negate the Lupis, then clear the bodies, and the Lupis is not gonna come back because it's gonna get banished. Or you can just Droplet the XYZ. So it's a very good card. Also against Arthalion, like our opponent always is gonna have 5 mana in hand, so hitting Arthalion with the Droplet is very clutch. Same as Cold Bite, we can hit the Lupis, we can hit the 5 mana. We can hit any hand trap. This card is broken. Going first is crazy. Going second is not even that bad because we can negate a Herald, the Synchro. We can negate, try to get rid of a Murakumo. Chariot as Nachi. Like, this card is always gonna do something at least. Maybe it's not gonna be enough, like by its own it's never enough, but it's still a good card to have. So this was our 20 non-engine cards. Now we're gonna go with our extra deck. After this, I'm gonna show you, like, I'm gonna talk about the matchups and like situations that might happen to you and that are interesting to be aware of. So our extra deck, of course, 3 Snatchy and the 3 Synchros. I wish we could play more Capsies, like 2 Capsies, but with the combos that we ended up playing, we don't need the second one. Like for weird scenarios or grind game situations where they banish our field spell, one of our field spells, so we cannot get back to it easily, and we happen to have this in graveyard, get stuck in graveyard, is like the second one is needed, but it doesn't come up that often. Like it's not like a common scenario, so it doesn't matter. More Synchro Starham. As I told you guys, this card is very, very, very good in pure, and now even Mitsurugi is playing it because they acknowledge how strong this card is. We also have Martial Meta Marcher, also needed for our combos, as I showed you. And Herald, we almost always want to end on this one. I want to show you, like, now that we're here with these synchros, I want to show you how to play around Super Poly against Malice. So one of the most annoying things against Super Poly is not that they get rid of our bodies, right? Is that they make Mud Dragon of the Swamp. They can make them the dark, and then it turns off all our interruptions. That's very, very annoying. So until they get rid of it, like get it off the board, that maybe in some scenarios they end up linking it off because they cannot play otherwise. So then your interruptions are on again. So it's not GG's, but it's annoying still. So how you play against Malice is we have Metal Marcher like in some point in our combo, like maybe we have like something like this. You ask them here, like, is there anything you would like to activate? Like, obviously you're referring to Niv. Here you have the Niv check, so you can just keep playing without using Marcher and the other guy to make the synchros and all that. So you can just go on and play Snatchy, then special summon Capsy, and you're gonna end on an end board that is pretty much like some more Snatches on the graveyard, this surprise, obviously the field spell. So you end on like something like this. You can even like if you have extra cards, you can even like to play much more around draw plays or anything. You can end on something like this. So with this end board, you're very, very safe against Super Poly. Like that card doesn't do like anything. Like, it doesn't matter because they can Super Poly into Mud Dragon because this one is wind. If they hold the Niv, then they are the goats. Like they just destroy us. I would recommend doing this only if you know your opponent is not playing Nibiru, or if you know your opponent is on Malice with Super Poly. If they're playing Super Poly, they are not usually playing Niv. So if you want to play against Super Poly, you have to do this. So your opponent is gonna play like they always have Dormos. Like imagine they bait things, and they like activate Field Spell, for example. Field Spell banish something, they're gonna go effect. We still are not gonna do anything yet. So when they get to that body, then we can make like Snatchy effect, go into our Herald, and we're safe of Super Poly because some people don't know, but Malice does log you into links, right? So now Super Poly, they can't even activate Super Poly. Our Herald has full value because it's not gonna get Super Polyed away. And yeah, now it's GG's. Like we Book of Moon the name, We have this as backup. This is gonna turn into more interruptions, and it's way too much. Like, you get rid of a lot of bodies, and without bodies, Malice cannot play. Book of Moon Book of Moon as Cookie Yumi Way for 2 is way too much against that deck. Like, you destroy them. So that's a way to play around Super Poly. That many people don't know. Like, they just go straight up into Herald. So yeah, let's keep explaining our extra deck. We just went over all these. And we have more links here. For the link ones, we obviously play Kagari. We play Almirage. Why do we play Almirage? Because our non-engine is a lot of monsters, hand traps that we can normal summon and make them gain some value, like normal summon, make Almirage. Then we can special summon our Yummies and play around 2 hand traps now instead of just 1. So it's very good to have this extra utility from your hands, from your hand traps. So that's why I'm playing Almirage right now. Like, I wasn't playing it before because we were playing like a more breaker approach before YCS Pittsburgh, so we didn't need it. We were just playing Link Kuribo and it was fine. Another Link 1, Link Spider for the Nibiru situations. And for Link 2s, we play SP, of course, like way too generic, and Onari and Azelia. So I'm gonna explain Onari first. I think I wouldn't be playing Onari if I wasn't on Droplets and Cold Buy. Like, having these in your deck makes Onari way better. Like, it's way too powerful to set Droplets. Like, sometimes you have 2 bodies that you don't have, like they have no much utility. So you can go Onari, set your Droplet or your Surprise that you couldn't get back because like any situation, or even your Cold Buy. Like, setting Cold Buy is crazy. So it makes your bodies like have this extra value. So I like it a lot. And it also like can burn for 15 and or destroy a card on field when it gets destroyed. It does come up, like it happened to me, that my opponent was on 550 life points, and I ended up going for a play like that on main phase 2. I couldn't kill him because he used some bestials and stuff. Then went for Azelia. Azelia targeted this one. This one gets destroyed. Then because my opponent had the Malice field spell and I have my field spell, I could pop a card on field. I popped a Cryptor that came back with the last life points of his. And then Onari burning for 15 and ending the game. You already know that Malice have a crazy grind game, so you don't want to get into that grind game. You just want to end the duel. And this card helped me doing so. So it's a very versatile card. I like it a lot. It's a light beast. So also is in some situations where you have Nibiru on field, and imagine like you have like it came up once where you can have like these. You result a Nibiru, then you like your only way to play is like normal summon these, right? You can go into Link 1, into the Snatchy. Here it is. If Snatchy gets stopped, then you can like go into Onari, and then you can special summon these, and this ends up having some value. Like you can get rid of this from hand. So if you have like Surprise as an extender, I don't know, but it sometimes can come up. Like it's good to know that, because this needs a light 2 light monsters, including a beast monster. So you have half of an Onari here. And also to get rid of Nibiru, we have Azelia. So Azelia has the effect to pop it can pop a card on field targeting, like any from anywhere, like also our field. Like we sometimes happen to like this situation where we end up destroying one of our cards for this. And also it can clear our main monster zone if we happen to have like engage. Here it is. We happen to have engage and we have like a nib here. And same scenario, like we have engage, not marshmallow, but engage and a cookie, right? We can go normal summon cookie, go into snatchy, snatch effect, gets impermed, right? Like that's a scenario that could come up. We can leave this off for Acelia. We can go Acelia effect, target another, like the other set card they have. If they negate it, doesn't matter because we have engage, then we can get into our place anyways. If it does trade, like it usually gets destroyed and then still we have engage. It can also like happen the same thing with Obedience Cult, where you can like make this situation into an Acelia. Then you can target one card on field. It will get destroyed. Then you can play Obedience and should be GG's, should be game over. And if we have Acelia also, like as I said, like you can clear one back row. Then you can, if it gets negated, we can play engage. Engage is gonna get us drones, of course. And drones is gonna get us our token. And here we can make Acelia, because it's a Sky Striker monster. We can turn it into Kagari. Kagari will get back drones. And we can keep playing from here. Synchro into Kapsuyami Way. And we have this as another extra push. So it's very good Acelia when we're playing Nibiru. It makes Nib a useful card. So I like it a lot. Also, like it did happen once that I knew my opponent had, I read my opponent had Super Poly. So what I did, like I had 3 bodies, like a synchro. Yeah, it was a synchro, something like that. We were on this situation and our opponent is holding the Super Poly, because if we go for an SP, we cannot kill him, so they can just like get into a grind game with Malice. Usually is not a good idea. So what you can do here, like what I did, was going to Acelia. Now they cannot Super Poly anything in our board. We go Acelia, target the back row, then this gets destroyed, right? We get rid of Super Poly, then we just go link one field spell summon, and then we can OTK. It did happen. My opponent straight up scooped. I asked him, like he didn't show us the Super Poly, but I asked him, it was Super Poly, right? And he said, yeah, it was Super Poly. So crazy good read there. Pretty proud about that one, but yep, Acelia did come up. It's very good. And now for our side deck, we have more hand traps with Troll, Purulia, Meows, and Nib. So Troll, mainly because we have to play against a lot of Yamimitsus, and it's a hard matchup if we lose the roll. So we need this as a strong card against them. Also, it's good against Bankish Zone and K9 variants. I mean, they can play around it, but they usually don't. So it's very good there. So it's even better now that those kind of decks are popular. Same about Purulia, like with more K9 decks, it gets much better. Purulia, it's good against good quote unquote against pure Yami. It's crazy against Solfa Core Yami, because if they start with the Solfa Core cards, they're gonna give us at least 3 draws. It's way too much. And yeah, against K9 Bangi Soul cards, it's very good. It's almost like a Fugalos, even better. Meows, because there are much more Malice players, so Meows is very good. And the third Nib, so we sided in when we're going first usually, except if we're facing Draco Tail opponent. And because having this going first makes us have a backup plan in case our interruptions are not enough. We can just straight go like pick some cards from our deck with the Capsi Yami Way, with the Capsi, so with the Marshmallow also getting surprise back. Then we have a crazy follow-up in hand. Then we drop the Nib and it's over. Like if they cannot kill us, like if they cannot OTK us and we nib them, and we have those 4 cards that our engine gives us as follow-up, the game is 100% over. 100% over. So that's why I like this card a lot going first. And we ended playing all these against Yami Mitsurugi to make them, to floodgate them out, because with like fair hand traps we cannot compete against that deck. And all these like do quite a lot against Yami Mitsurugi. And also against Malice, we side these 4 in. Also the Nibiru, because we have a lot of hand traps. Like both sided, we have 21 or even more hand traps. So this makes that Malice cannot go crazy, cannot go wild and end on a crazy board. Like they're gonna have like 1, 2, almost 3 solid interruptions, but we should have a lot of cards in hand if they commit. Yep, Nib is also very good against Malice, I think. Depends on the situation, it depends on their hand, but it's usually very good. More cards for going first. I mean, more cards for going second is the Harvest Feather Dasher. This is like my lucky card. It's always the 15th card in my side deck. And it's very good against Malice because they have D-Fisher, they have Super Poly, they have other traps and the quick spells. If we happen to charmy them, they're gonna get to the quick spell. So with Harvest Feather Dasher, we clear a lot. We usually trade like 3 for 1, so it's very good. Against Draco Tail, it's also very good paired up with our non-engine, which is like all the droplets, the droplets, Ghost Bells, Ash, and Perch. All these pair up very good with the power spells, because we can dodge Flame. That's why we also played going second against Draco Tail. Gravekeeper's Inscription. Like having all these makes it very likely to resolve our power spells, even either these or Obedience Gold or Prosperity to add the card that we need. So this was my game plan against Draco Tail going second, like resolving these and interrupting them with these cards. I think it was a solid plan. It did win me the 2 against the 2 Draco Tails opponents I had. And like this is okay going second, right? But going first, this card is crazy against Draco Tail. You make Rahu, Ketu, like trash cards. Like they don't do nothing if they are under Gravekeeper's Inscription. Also, like the worst case, and like it's almost the most likely like common case for sure, is that they Fugalos us and then they 5-mana us, right? So we're under Fugalos, but the thing is, if we're under Fugalos but they are under Gravekeeper's Inscription, then it doesn't matter if you give them 1, 2 draws. because like them using 5 mana or them using like their spells, their engine spells in the next turn, it's not gonna do much. Like sure, they can like bounce one card, pop one card with the Gulamel. Doesn't matter. Like we don't care about targeting effects because our engine is like way too good against those kind of interactions. So it's pretty much GG's. Like any time that I draw this card is a win for us, especially going first, right? Also against Malice, it's not that bad. Calling no player can banish cards from the graveyard. You can turn off the bestials that are very annoying against Yami Pure, and also they cannot go for like wicked plays into the Ignister cards. They cannot go for like binder effect to banish cards from the graveyard and extend with their engine with that, or mess up with our graveyard, like banishing surprise or our field spell. Is very annoying. So having this makes them not able to do that. Also, they cannot go into access code effect to destroy, at least banishing from graveyard. They can still banish from field, but if they want to do that, then go ahead. Like I don't care. So it's less likely to us get OTK'd in case everything goes wrong. Like we can still like get into a grind game and maybe steal the win from there. So yeah, this card, because we're playing Yami Pure, we can play this card. So that's another reason to play Yami Pure Yami. It's a very, very good card. You just have to draw it. Like you cannot like add it off of these or maybe thrust into these. Like you have to activate it in the start of the main one. But if you do, then you're in a very, very good position, like 99% chance of you winning that game. And for going first cards, I usually side these in against Fugalos. I take Fugals out and take this in. Is the talent, crazy card, we already know. Anti-spell, unfair card, sudden judgment, also unfair card. I didn't see these two in the last YCS, last weekend. Like I did see sudden judgment, but it was against a Malice opponent, which was under Great Keeper's Inscription and couldn't like do much. I also got to my engine, so he couldn't do that much. So sudden wasn't necessary. And Trust was, Talents was also very, very clutch. Like having the hand knowledge is way too much. Like this card should get banned. Also these two, like they are Saki one-offs right now, so I don't like them. And now I'm gonna talk about the matches that I played. But give me a second, I need some water. Okay, so about my matches, it was 480 players pretty much. So we had 8 rounds day 1 and 4 rounds day 2, and then we had the top cut. So day 1, I started playing against Yami Mitsurugi. I'm gonna leave all the matchups here, like the results. We played against Yami Mitsurugi. We lost the roll. And our opponent started with pre-prep. We didn't have any hand trap, but we still wanted to see like if our opponent was on Yami cards. So we stayed in the game. He was on 40 cards, so I thought like maybe it's how do you say it? Like pure Mitsurugi, right? And we had a cold buy in hand and a prosperity, so I still wanted to maybe like steal a win from there. So our opponent started with pre-prep and started doing like some strange plays, I would say. But he ended on Murakumo, Habakiri, Prayer Set, Purification Set, another set card from hand, and that was pretty much it, right? So I was like, okay, should be pure Mitsurugi. So we played, we broke the board, right? We were able to we weren't able to OTK, but we broke the board, and then we passed turn, and our opponent goes like normal capsi, and I was like, maybe he wasn't playing zombie vampire. I don't know, like he was on 40 cards, so maybe just the Mitsurugi engine just was a board wipe and something to grab off Herald. I don't know, like maybe he thought it was enough with that kind of board. I don't know actually, but we won that game, and second game he made us start, and we like arched the Charmy and then went full combo, and our opponent wasn't able to win there, so we started 2-0. So we won our first match. Then we went to our second match against a friend from Mexico, shout out Zidane. So he played Draco Tail. He won the roll, and the thing is, game one, he didn't do much first turn. Like he said 2 and pass. Our hand wasn't that good. Like we had some, like I think 2 Fugalos, and we weren't able to use them. Also, I didn't know what he was playing. Like I figured like maybe it's Draco Tail because he was like on 41 cards and setting 2 pass. I don't know, but I thought like should be Draco Tail, so must be a Horn or a Flame, or maybe a Fallen and Virtus down there. The thing is, we ended up going for like playing. We got to our engine and all that, but the thing is, we were in a position where we have to OTK, because I noticed his follow-up was like started being good, because one of the sets was Flame, I think. So he grabbed the card, and then I think he hand trapped us, and then like we were in a good position to get into a grind game against Draco Tail, because if like we couldn't get to a Herald early, so if we pass turn and they go get to Rahu and they happen to have an enemy hand, which my read was they should have like a Pan or an Urgula, and having them in hand, and with the draws that we gave him from the traps and the top deck for turn, we didn't want to get into a grind game, right? Because one of those spells can destroy our board. So we ended up committing into Nibiru. Like there was a high chance of him having it, and he did have it. He nipped us, but we still like managed to stay in a good position, even if he nipped us, which he did. So we got into a very okay position. We passed turn. He couldn't OTK us. Like there was maybe a line that he could OTK us, but we still had like a backup plan there. Like I didn't tell him, but he was like, "Oh, I could have OTK," but I did have a ghost bell that I could have that I was saving. Like maybe if he goes for that route, maybe with Secretarian Dragon and stuff. So it was something like that. But the thing is, he passes turn, but he said Sting, and he ended up banishing our field spell. And he was like, yeah, so now it's GG's. Like, I think he said something like that. But the thing is, like, we got into a grind game. We were expecting him, like, the plan was to tag out one of our synchros, then summoning Marshmallow, then getting the field spell back. The thing is, we got into a situation, like, where I could get to that either with Starham or him chaining something with us having a synchron field. But the thing is, he had the second Nib in hand. So that second Nib just killed us. Like, we did make an Onari. We set surprise, so we had follow-up. And also, if he crashed into our Onari, I mean, if he attacked with our, to Onari, then Onari was gonna like pop something else. So we were still like in the game, but time was going, time was running out. So I just scooped. We went game 2. Then I think I started with Inscription maybe. So we won that game easily. Then game 3, He started, I full lost him in standby phase, and it was a very good game. The thing is, I top decked Imperm. Yeah, I top decked Imperm. No, I had droplets, Imperm, a Croaky, Ash in hand, and our top deck was something like Purge, because we full lost that, so that's the 6 cards. He didn't give us any draw. Like, he ended on Cashier Fenrir, Mululu, 1 set card, and I knew he had 5 mana in hand because he activated Ketu. Ketu. So I figured he had something in hand. So we made a play that we needed him to. We had like a Harpies. It wasn't a Purge. The thing is, we go Harpies. He chained Horn, that was the set card. He hard opened Horn to target Mululu. No, he goes first, like chaining 1 Harpies, chaining 2 he goes Mululu effect, chaining 3 he goes Horn to bounce back Mululu and then fuse, then fusion summon. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna chain my droplets or Ash or anything there. So he ended up going for Gulamel. So he ended on Gulamel, and he set 1 card. So he had Gulamel, a 5 mana in hand to trigger Gulamel, right? Cashier Fenrir, and we had Ash, Imperm, Acroaky, and Marshmallow. So on rest, I was like, okay, if he has another hand trap, then I'm just cooked. So we went Acroaky. First Imperm on Cashier Fenrir, because I figured that was the most annoying card to play against, because we needed like a name in rotation. So I was playing for just like him freaking out. So we went Acroaky, Marshmallow effect in hand. Okay, it special summons. Then he thinks about it and he goes 5 mana effect. I was like, okay, I'm not chaining anything. He goes Gulamel effect, target the field spell. Sure. Field spell gets destroyed. Then he summons Arthalion effect, target our Marshmallow to bounce. And I was like, and then he recognizes that he fucked up. And because of his expression, I noticed like, okay, he doesn't have anything else in hand and he fucked up. So I grabbed the Marshmallow in hand, the normal summon the Marshmallow, went for the Link 1 effect, got the field spell, target the Marshmallow, special summon, go for Capsule Away, then go effect, and he didn't have the Ash. So yeah, because I knew he didn't have the Ash, because he would have ashed my Fugalos, right? Like Dragotail always does, because they can just get the Ash back. So I knew he didn't have the Ash. So yep, he didn't have anything else, so we just straight up OTK'd him. It was a good game. It was close to time, but it was a very good game, so shoutouts to him. That was our round 2 opponent. We 2-0-1 him, so we are 2-0 overall. Then we go to match number 3. We played against DDD. We lost the roll again, so we're 0-3 in dice roll. We lost the roll, and we had Fugalos. He goes like normal Kepler or Copernicus, something like that. Yeah, it was the one that adds, so I think it's Kepler. So he adds the contract, plays the contract that searches the queen, the DDD queen. Uses the queen gets to the other contract, the contract uses the effect to special summon from deck. I go Fugalos. He had the call by. And that was our only hand trap. Sure, call by on that. He goes like for full combo. He didn't get to the trap. Maybe he wasn't playing it in the main deck. So he didn't get to the trap. He just ended on. It was a lot. He ended on the Synchro that negates spell and traps, the Matching X, the XYZ, the Link 3 that negates effects from hand. Caesar, the DDD Caesar, the one that gets special summons, and like 2 or 3 cards in hand, maybe 2, something like that. And I had droplets. Like, I don't know if I top deck. No, I already had it in hand, and I had like droplets, surprise, lollipop, cookie, perch that I top decked, and the fugalas that I dropped on the last turn. So 5 cards in hand. I go normal lollipop. I go lollipop effect, target the tuner that the DDD tuner that was in graveyard, so he doesn't have like a follow up there in case something goes wrong. He chains Machinex to attach, right? Then I go surprise to special summon because I have a valid target in hand with Cookie. He goes Caesar to negate. I wanted to check for maybe surprise. I mean, for maybe impulse. That's why I changed it there, because maybe he plays or tries to play around droplets, so he chains impulse to the surprise, so I don't get the value if he reads that I have droplets. I needed to check it before activating my droplets and casting my lollipop from field. Like if he impulsed there, I just send for cost the other 3 cards in hand and don't send the lollipop. He changed the Caesar, so I just changed the droplets. I cost the perch, the lollipop on field, and the surprise that I activated. I negated everything except but the link 3. That doesn't matter against with Yummy Pure. So it resolves. I negate everything that's important on field. I special summon the lollipop, right? Yeah, special summon the lollipop, and I had lollipop and cookie in hand. That's all. So I could play around a possible perch that he was holding. So I go link 1 effect, place the field spell effect. He didn't have impulse there. But I still played around it because maybe he read that I have another name in hand because I activated the surprise while lollipop was on field. So I ended up like playing around perch, impulse, I mean, keeping 1 synchro on field always. So if he happens to impulse me, if he happens to have like Bell impulse, I could just chain the synchro and get the bodies anyways. So yeah, I just made a play that and OTK'd him, because he put his big monsters in attack. With the droplets, they were cut in half, so I was able to OTK there. Game 2, I did draw the Fugalos again, and now it resolved. I had Ash in hand. He was like playing, he didn't give me any draw, but the thing is, he still kept playing with some of the contracts and the guys that search and send from deck to graveyard. And I had the Ash, but I was keeping it in case he had Thrust, and he did activate Thrust, the old chart, and I was like, what is that? Oh, Thrust, I'm gonna Ash that for sure. He still sets 1 from a hand, and the thing is, the 1 from a hand was Black Gold Laughs. And I had a Marshmallow in hand, and yeah, that was it, like something like that. The thing is, I go Marshmallow effect, right? He didn't end on any other interruption except but the set card. So I go Marshmallow effect, special summon. He goes Black Gold Laughs. Okay, no problem. I go normal summon Marshmallow, go for Almirage, and Marshmallow for Capsule Way effect. It did resolve, so I just got into a position where I could OTK with all the bodies that I had. I also had the field spell in hand, so it wasn't necessary to search it with Capsi. I had the Minion in hand already, so I just OTK'd and like cut him off a follow-up with I think I cut him off a follow-up with Azalea, something like that, but yeah, I had a plan to cut him out of a follow-up if something happened. And I ended up OTKing, so 2-0 there against DDD. So we won that one. Start the 3-0. And then fourth round, we played against a very strong opponent, the world champion, Julian Quijón. From the... and he was playing Banky Soul K9. So this was the first dice roll that we won. So nice, amazing. And we started playing, and he didn't interrupt us. Like, he was thinking a lot. Like, I read that he had like Holy Su. I knew he was playing Banky Soul because I played against him on DV on Friday, I think. Yeah, the day before. So I figured that he was playing Banky Soul. So I never activated Marshmallow in Hand. And I ended up doing a pretty okay field. But he was thinking a lot. So I was reading like, there has to be a Holy Su or maybe a Nid. And he was thinking about it. The thing is, I went, like I showed you, like if I get uninterrupted, I can play very good around Nibiru. So I made the Herald first before committing into Lollipop. I did open the Acro key, the X field, so the one that pops. So I get to the how do you say it? The Herald, and then went to the combo with the Lollipop, the Link 1, a level 1, surprise set, and then before passing turn, I activated the Acro key from hand, right? Because I was expecting him, like, because he was thinking that much, I was expecting him, maybe he has like Holy Su, Nibiru, something like that in hand, and I didn't want to risk like exposing that much, so I just placed a Croaky from hand. So I passed on Perch set, surprise set, a Croaky on field, Lollipop, Link 1, level 1, and Herald. Ideal end board. So he goes still main phase, Holy Su effect, reveal Yao Long. Okay, now I was thinking like, I'm not gonna waste my Herald on that because it is very probable that that's just, how do you say it, bait. So I didn't waste the Herald there, and I used a Lollipop effect, tag out. So I summon. Then I didn't activate any trigger there. I asked him like, do you have any trigger? And he goes, he thinks a lot, and he goes, okay, Yao Long effect. Sure, no problem. He summons Yao Long. Then I go synchro summon. I nothing on res. I asked him. He didn't have anything on res. Then I go for a synchro into Cookie Yumi Way with the bodies that with the bodies that came from Lollipop Yumi Way, which I tagged out. So I went for Cookie, and when Cookie effect target Holy Su. Or was it Yao Long? No, it was Yao Long, I think. Like target Yao Long, because I wanted to, worst case scenario, Herald negate Holy Su, right? That was the most threatening card. So I went Cookie, no effect of a Cookie, but a Croaky effect, target the Yao Long. Sorry, my battery ran out. But as I was saying, like I went field spell effect, I made Cookie Yumi Way, field spell effect, target Yao Long, it went through, Yao Long gets popped, then he has a Holy Su. Then I was thinking like, what do I want to do next? So he has three cards in hand, Holy Su on field, and I had a Herald, a Cookie Yumi Way, a Link 1, and a level 1 surprise and perch set. Like an awesome position, right? So I think about it, and I was like, okay, if he happened to have if he happens to activate Holy Su, then I will, it depends on what he reveals. Like if he reveals maybe seas, I mean, how is it called, the burger, heavy burger, then I would maybe straight up try to negate the Holy Su. No. But it was depending on what he revealed. Like, but he didn't activate anything. Like I was guessing, like maybe he has a Neve and he just wanted me to waste my Herald early, but I wasn't gonna fall for that easy, I think. So I went with the Link 1 and the level 1 into SP in the extra monster zone. I go SP effect, target the Holy Su. If he changes Holy Su, then I would like just say okay, depends on what he reveals, and just Herald negate the Brazen that would come down, right? So I went for SP target Holy Su. He didn't answer, so sure, get Spanish. Then he had 3 cards in hand, pass turn, and I had like a very good end board, so I ended up winning. Like he had engine, but it wasn't enough, and I ended up like he had 1 Holy Su in hand, and he revealed Yao Long, and I think I just went for Herald negate Holy Su. I didn't want to give him any chance, because we still had engine to play against that. No. He went Holy Su effect, revealed another Jiaolong, so they ended up like I changed my synchro, so I had like I summoned Snatchy and Capsy. Capsy gave me follow up. I went for the follow up. I didn't want to risk anything, so I went for Marshmallow, and Snatchy went for the field spell that pops, and then he goes Holy Su effect, and he reveals, I think it was another Jiaolong and a Shifter that should be the top deck, right? Or if it wasn't, like maybe it was like the Rescue Ace, I think. No, I don't remember, but it was a fire. And the thing is, I then went like Herald negate, right? Then he goes to battle phase. I go battle phase is okay. I'll go Snatchy effect. Snatchy go into Lollipop, I think, and went like field spell, target Yaolong. Then he scooped. And game 2 against Julian, I had a pretty good hand, like, but I had like Cookie, Lollipop, and I had like Imperm, and a Fualos, I think. No, it was Fualos, Draw, Imperm, and Cookie. The thing is, I go Fualos because I needed like, no, it wasn't Cookie, it was Obedience School. So Fualos, Draw, Imperm, Obedience School. Like, I wanted to Fualos him, making him waste the Ash, because I needed that Obedience School to resolve that. It was my only engine. So if he ashed that, then I can draw on res and make my Obedience go through. That's a huge advantage. So I full lost him. He ended up going for K9 plays. I imprint Deisuna. Then he goes for Rhoda, reinforcement of the army. He goes for Raisin. I didn't draw because I needed more cards, and I figured like if I imperm, because I had the second imperm, right? If I imperm the Raisin, if he doesn't do the Link 1 and gives me another draw, he's gonna waste that Raisin, right? Like I'm not gonna summon that column and that's it, right? So I impermed him. He did go for the Link 1, gave me another draw, and he ended up like having on his end board, he ended with Link 1, the Rock of the Vanquisher, SP under it. the Reaper, and X-Force release that he searched with Lantern, something like that. And I did know that he has Jokul in hand because he searched it, and Raisin in hand that he added from the rock. So I was just missing one card in hand, and my guess was that card. What was my guess? Like, I knew it wasn't Ash. I guess like it should have been like Izuna, maybe, that he was holding. Maybe another attribute, maybe Madlove. But I think he would have activated Rogue Effect to special summon, then go with Madlove. So I thought like it should be like a K9 card, I guess. So with the draws, he gave me Cookie and Lollipop, something like that. And another third draw like that wasn't even relevant, I think. The thing is, I also drew a Croaky. The thing is, I go stand by Memphis, I use a Croaky, anything there? No? Obedience School. The thing is, he did interrupt me a lot, like popped a lot of things, SP, chained, popped my field spell with the X-Force release, so I couldn't get into Capsy that easily. But I ended up like having to use Marshmallow from hand, and I was like, I'm not in a bad position if the last card was Izuna, which was my read, and it was Izuna. So he ended up dropping the Izuna, dropping the Lupis, then Lupis became Typhon because he had the continuous spell, the case for K9, and Lupis was boosted, so Lupis was the monster with the highest stack. He summoned Typhon, but because I had Cookie and Lollipop in hand, I just summoned 6 bodies on field and OTK'd him, like destroyed 4 of his monsters, and then attacked with 4,000 and 4,200. So it was a good 2-0 for us against him. It was a very good hand on my behalf, so it was. But I still played it okay, I think. So we started 4-0 the event. Then we played against our Malice opponent. This game, I didn't remember. Yeah, I kind of remember it, but it wasn't like Game 3, he didn't activate a shifter from hand because he bricked, and I bricked as well. So, but he didn't he forgot to shifter me in a scenario, but I was bricked, so it didn't matter. Like if he shifted me, like I just passed because I didn't have anything. So it didn't matter. So I ended up winning. Like I lost one of the games. I think I lost game 1. Yeah, because I lost the roll again. So I'm 1 and 4 in rolls, in die roll. I lost the roll, and he had everything. So I just lost game 1, and game 2 I used inscription, and that was enough. And game 3, the shifter situation happened, and yeah, it didn't matter because I was bricked as well. So he said 1 from hand, and it was MTP, and I had like 2 ashes in hand, a Fuwalos, a Croaky, and something else, maybe Bird, something like that. And I used Ash. With Ash, I stopped him for 2 turns, I think. No, I had another Fuwalos. The thing is, when I passed turn back, after ashing him on MTP, he drew the field spell, he activated the field spell, went for Dormouse. I'm okay. Dormouse for Rabbit effect. I thought about it, and I went like Fuwalos on the effect. He thought about it, he ashed me, and he ended up setting GWC. And now on rest, I went full against him to making him scared of committing. I did have Nips in my deck, so I knew I could maybe top decks a Nibiru and survive. If he doesn't go for a Cryptor OTK line that kills me on 4 summons, which it was very probable because he just needed like any normal summon from hand. The thing is, he didn't have a normal summon from hand. We were lucky there, so he just attacked, didn't even like linked it off. He kept 1 in hand, 2 in hand, and set 1. And then I top decked, and it was Marshmallow. And I was like, amazing, like Marshmallow. Yeah, I had Marshmallow in the last top deck because he bricked like twice. The thing is, I got another top deck and it was surprise. I couldn't even play. So the other top deck was Marshmallow. Now I have Marshmallow. I'm playing against GWC that I know that he set, and another set from hand that my read was like maybe is either Super Poly or Impulse, right? But I have or Impulse or Malice in the Mirror, because if he passes just on that, I know he has a strong non-engine, and those are my 3 candidates. That was my read. And I activated a Crow Key to play around like something that gets my Marshmallow out of the field, and then I go Marshmallow effect. If he has the Dominus Impulse set, then I would have to play around Nibiru in hand, but I had the surprise, so I could play around Dominus Impulse popping my Marshmallow from hand, right? Because he had a trapping engraver, so I still went for the effect. Then it went through. I special summoned Marshmallow. Then he thought about it and didn't do anything. I had one of the ashes that I kept last turn, so I normal summoned Ash. I went into Almirage, and then I went into Capsiyami Way. I think as I go Capsiyami Way 1 to the field spell, target the unknown back row. He chained the Malice in the Mirror. Then I thought, okay, that said that one of those 2 cards in hand has to be Impulse, because if I tag out, then he impulse me. I do have 1 card on field, but if he does that, then I have surprise, and then Nibiru is not a factor in the equation, so I can just UTK, right? So it was impulse, but I had surprise, so it didn't matter. So with surprise, I gave myself the body that I was missing. I didn't need to play around Nib anymore, and I played keeping 1 synchro on field always, because I knew that GWC was gonna be used and that could save him from an OTK. So I just needed to keep a synchro to go into Cookie, and Cookie popping the monster that he's gonna revive. That is always gonna be Malice the rabbit. So I could pop it before he sets, and then I can just run over it. I ran like attack directly and OTK. I did that. He kept 1 card in hand, and after the duel I asked him like, what else did you have? And he was like kind of ashamed, and he showed me it was a Shifter. And I told him that, oh, why didn't you chain it? Because he told me he forgot. But I didn't tell him, but it didn't matter because I was bricked, right? But so it didn't end up mattering. So that was the 5th match. So 5-0. We started strong. Then we went for our 6th match, and we played against Hisam Jawari. We played against him in Pittsburgh and we ended up winning, so it was his revenge. And I knew he was gonna be on Yami Mitsurugi because he was on that last event, so I just figured he was gonna just play the same deck. I mean, not the same deck, but not the same list, but the same deck for sure. And we lost the roll, and I was like, oh man, Yami Mitsurugi losing the roll again. We're 1 in 5 now in dice roll. usually it's like that for me. I don't know why, like I don't believe that much in luck, but 1 in 5 in rolls, like it happens a lot to me. Like the last 2 events that I played before YCS Mérida, I also lost like my win percentage of dice roll was like 20%, like didn't make sense. But yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. So we played against Hisam. Hisam. He started with his plays. We had like only 1 purge. No, we didn't have any hand trap. The thing is, he had like 40 and 43, I think, main deck. So I knew it was Yami Mitsurugi. He goes Marshmallow Effect in hand. I just scooped, like straight up scoop. I don't recommend you doing so, but I just wanted to save time. I knew what he was playing. Like he was Yami Mitsurugi for sure. So just packed my cards, side deck, and went first on the game 2. So I don't know if it was Fualos, but he ended up hand trapping us, so we didn't end on the full board, but we could hold we could avoid getting OTK'd. Like he cleared our board, but we played for the follow-up and always having a backup plan in case he had a Yami name. So he started with normal summon the Aramasa. So yeah, I just knew I was not gonna get he didn't have like many Yamis. And the thing is, he nipped us. That's the thing. Like he nipped us in a spot where we discarded one of the Yami names. I do not recommend that either, but I did do it because I had good non-engineering hand. Like I had droplets, I had Purge, I had Nibiru, and maybe an Ash that I wasted on maybe a Charmy, something like that. But the thing is, I wanted to keep all those in hand. So he nipped us. We just passed on a token and we set 1 card. He went like standby main, normal Armasa, searches Habakiri. Then he goes Habakiri effect, something like that. And we used prayers. I mean, surprise. We brought back the Kapsiyami Way. He summoned and tributed. He didn't activate the effect because he just wanted to run over Kapsiyami Way. That's a very good play. That the one that he did. I knew he was. I thought he was gonna go for that play, but I did it because I had the droplets. So if he attacked with the Nibiru, then we can droplets and in damage step, cost a field spell. Then our Capsi is 22 defense, so we are safe there. I ended up doing it. Like he just go battle phase attack, and I go damage step attack and cost. Like I knew that play was gonna happen. He took 700, and then still in battle phase he activated like prayers, tribute. I tagged out. I gave myself some resources, and he went for the main phase 2. And because he didn't even like try to attack into my Yamis, So I knew he was gonna start the main two, like he had the pieces. He was gonna just straight up go for Murakumo, like first action. So he didn't want me to have a chance to make a synchro to tag out. So in the end of the battle phase, I made a synchro to play around that. I went for Cookie, I think, or Lollipop, and I didn't activate the effect, something like that. Yeah, I think it was Cookie. Didn't activate the effect, so my phase 2, first action, the ritual spell, I chained. The thing is, I had the Nibing hand, right? Yeah, I had the Nibing hand. So I chain locked, so if he activated Murakumo, it didn't matter. He didn't activate Murakumo, I don't know why, but I started getting rid of some bodies. Effect of field spell, I summoned back. I didn't have surprise, but I went for Marshmallow. Marshmallow had back surprise, so I had like plenty of follow-up. And then I went for, he went for his place, he goes for Zombie Vampire, and at that spot, like I know he don't have Yamis in hand, so I go Nibiru, and then the game was over right there. So he just scooped, so we went to game 3, and he started, I couldn't stop him. It was something like I hand trapped him, then nipped him, and then but still couldn't get over his mid end board. So he won 1-2 against us. So we are 5-1 at the moment. It was very good play for he played it very good. So shout out to him. And then we go for round 7. Round 7, we played against our friend Rodrigo from Mexico. I knew he was playing Yami Mitsurugi, so we needed that one dice roll against Yami Mitsurugi, please, and we did get that dice roll. We started, he trolled us, nipped us, but we still could play around that and ended up winning. And game 2, now it was our turn. We had the draw and we had the Nibiru, and it was a lethal combination because of how he played. He tried to play around other cards, like he played around draw, but by doing so, he couldn't play around Nibiru. And so the thing is, we drawed him, like he did get some resources, but we nipped in the right spot. He just ended on a token, and then we could just OTK. Yeah, it was an OTK. There was a good play that I want to show you guys that I usually do against Murakumo situations, where I make we started with a Kroki again, like we usually do. Like I'm not mad at all about it because we can chain lock and pop some things. The thing is, we went for Capsi Yami Way, chaining 1, a Kroki chaining 2, targeting the prayers that we knew was there. So that was like all his interruptions. And the thing is, he changed the prayers, tributes 1 Murakumo. And then we chained, how was it? We chained this guy. So we got some follow-up and then discarded. We also play around him drawing us, because if he wants to activate Murakumo, then he cannot draw like in that same chain, because Murakumo is not gonna resolve. So Murakumo is not gonna get back. So I did this play that I usually do against Mitsurugi Murakumo situations, where I tagged out into Snatchy. And I don't know any name, and added 2, discarded an Ash that I had, or something like that, like a brick that I had in hand. Like maybe I had Perch in hand. I discarded the Perch. It wasn't needed because I drawed him, so Perch was dead. I still had an Ash in hand. The thing is, I go for these 2, and he goes he tributed Murakumo, special summon Saji. So he goes like chaining 1 Murakumo, 2 Saji, 3 Mirror, something like that. Then I go for, remember we have a Croaky. A Croaky here. So we have these. We summon these 2. He goes chaining 1, 2, 3, something like that. We go chaining 4. So chaining 4, Synchro into Lollipop Yami Way. So we, as turn players, we go chaining 1 Lollipop Yami Way. He goes chaining 2 Murakumo to board wipe, right? Sure, we just let Lollipop die. So, or maybe we chain this, something like that. But the thing is, Lollipop dies. And now we resolve chaining 1. So we get back the 2 bodies. That's broken. And on resolution, we go a Croaky effect to special summon from deck. He chained Murakumo. I think we discarded the Ash to resolve. Then we got Capsi effect, grabbed a Surprise, and then it was, I think he trolled us there, but it didn't matter, like we had a lot. This field spell was just placed from hand, so we can still go Snatchy Minion. We have Surprise, so I just linked this off for another Snatchy, went Surprise add back, Surprise summon back Marshmallow back Surprise. Now I recognized that he had plenty of follow-up. Like I knew he had Capsi from last turn, so he had Capsi. So with the prayers play that he did, I knew he had plenty of follow-up. So I thought like, if he has need, then he got this game. But I need to OTK him right now. Otherwise, I'm not gonna get into a grind game against those cards like Capsi, Sprayers, Murakumo going around. Like I wasn't winning that at all. So worst case scenario, we just go game 3 and we can like maybe get the win going first. So it's okay. So I went greedy. I went surprise bounce, target, chain, summon the synchro, special, and OTK. And yeah, we ended up winning that one 2-0 against Yami Mitsurugi. So 6-1 at the moment, and then we get to play our last round from day 1 against Malice players. He was a very nice person. Like we got deck checked, so we could chat a bit, and he was a very nice guy. Shout out to you. So he was a Malice opponent, and he won. No, we won the roll. Finally, again, we ended up 3 and 5 in the dice rolls, and we won the first one. Like I don't remember if he shifted us, but the thing is, we ended up winning that one. And game 2, I don't know if we forward him, but he ended up going for just Cryptor and D-Fisher on field. And we kept droplets in because I think he scooped. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think he scooped, so I didn't know he was on Malice. So I kept the droplets in. So I opened, like, I don't know if I mod charmed him or he just passed on Cryptor, GWC set, and the Fisher. So we had droplets. We were lucky enough to have the field spell, the Minion field spell. Like that was our other only spell, so we had something to pitch off of droplets to negate the Cryptor, always making sure that we never summon anything where it points to. So yeah, we ended up like negating Cryptor, and yeah, with the MTP it wasn't enough. I think he had a March here, but he didn't have anything to. It was something like that. But the thing is, he had we built an OTK. I think he impulsed us, so we got rid of the D Fisher by going for a crow key pop, because we had 2 cats in hand. Then went chaining 1 capsy, chaining 2 field spell to pop, it gets popped. Then we add 2, discard 1, we can discard to grave now, so we have something in grave. And we ended up like going for the full OTK setup. We went for the OTK, we attacked into the bodies, attacked directly, and he was on 1450 life points. And in the last attack, that would be OTK, he goes Baldric effect. He goes Baldric target Cryptor. So banishes Cryptor, summons Baldric in defense, Cryptor effect comes back, and it was huge, like huge Cryptor, like 5k Cryptor. So I couldn't get over it. I just attacked. I couldn't even attack into the Baldric, I think. But the thing is, he was on 550 life points. So I will go to main phase 2, and I figured like, oh, I have this Onari play, the link 2. I can make the play to pop it with Azalea and end the game right there. So I did that. I mean, I had to go for SP first. SP targeting I needed to target the Baldric. So if he changed the Baldric, then I can just chain the SP maybe, and I get rid of his 2 bodies. He got a field spell up. So I needed to bait the Baldric, so this one doesn't get banished, so I can just burn him. And yeah, I ended up doing that. I banished something. He let that effect go, so he just had a Cryptor, and then we went for Onari. Onari set the droplets that we used earlier, so broken. And then we went for Azalea. Azalea popped this, it gets destroyed, this one gets destroyed, and we go effect. We destroyed Cryptor and burned him for 1500 because he had a field spell and we also had a field spell. And GG's, we won the last one. They won with Onari effect, pretty nice. So 7-1 day 1. Very, very good score for day 1. We never have to like feel safe at all. So I just went to my Airbnb to sleep, ate something, like ordered food, and went to sleep because I needed to focus and rest for the day 2, the most important day. And day 2, we started like playing against a Malice opponent. We won the roll again, so 4 and 5 in dice roll, pretty good. Spoiler alert, that was the only roll that we won on the Swiss of day 2. So we won the roll, game 1, we got shifted, and we just used all our hand because we had like 2 cats. So we just used all our hand to get into this setup. So I ended up against Shifter, I ended on 2 snatches, this field spell, and 2 Yummy monsters, and in hand I had the bell. So with one play I popped with the field spell, then in the other play I booked of Moon, and then he had the field spell, and then I ghost belled it and he scooped. He shouldn't have scooped because of Shifter. Our 3 snatches were banished. Also our Capsy was banished, and we had no cards in hand. We had 2 synchros on field. Where's the other synchro? I don't know. But the things, we had two sinkers on field, but we didn't have much to play on next turn. But he scooped. I don't know what we would have top decked, but I don't know. I hope it wasn't relevant. So game 2, we Purulia him, he ashed us, we meowed him, and he gave us like 1-2 draws. Yeah, I think it was 1 draw, and they ended on ransom, said Malice in the Mirror, he said DDG, no, it wasn't DDG, it was like, yeah, Mirror, MTP that he said off of Rabbit. He tried to set it off of Rabbit, but he feared that he had in hand, so we knew that he had that one set from hand, and also he had a Super Poly. We drew the Harpy's Feather Duster, we activated the Harpy's Feather Duster, got rid of everything. He chained obviously MTP, he grabbed a Marcher, and the thing is we could like go for an OTK position. We summoned many bodies, but the thing is we didn't want to get into a grind game, so we just risked him having Niv, and he had the Niv, and we did go into a turn 3, and he ended up winning that one. I mean, he had a lot of advantage. He started with Allure, with all the follow-up in hand after having March Hair and Ransom in Graveyard, and he was in a way too good position. Like we could end on a synchro, but still wasn't enough. And game 3, we had, so I just scooped and went to game 3. And game 3, we opened really good. We opened Inscription, Judgment, and Cats. Yeah, it was some Cats. The thing is, he nipped us again, but sorry, I'm back. The thing is, he nipped us. He just destroyed us with that nip. We had surprise set still. We could get to it, and he had the nib, and we had a huge token, I think. And he goes standby main phase, and I knew he was playing Super Poly because of the last Harpy's Feather Duster, so I knew I had to play around that. He goes Field Spell Effect, right? Yeah, he goes Field Spell. The thing is, I go... No, he goes normal Dormouse. Yeah, we were under Fuwa. Yeah, we were under Fuwa last turn, and then he nipped us. But he was under Inscription, and we did have a Solemn Judgment set. We also had a Purge, I think. And the thing is, he goes normal Dormouse. He goes Dormouse effect. And I went Surprise to Special Summon back. So I Special Summon back Capsy. So my only win condition was him messing up and activating the name that he banished off of Dormouse. So I chained, he did activate it, and then I chained this one. So in that way, I played around Super Poly as well. But the thing is, I think I had a droplet, and it wasn't a Purge. I had a droplet, so it didn't matter. So if he attacked, but the correct play was not activating it, just going battle phase like Hisam on round 6 day 1 did, attacking and then getting rid of it. I still had the Judgment as well to back up my, like if he had Impulse or anything, like I had Judgment. Because maybe he can commit into that play if he has the Impulse, right? Like he goes Chilling 1, I go Chilling 2, he goes Impulse, Chilling 3, then Judgment. It can trade there like very good. So, and we also played around Super Poly by doing so. So I changed it. He didn't have the impulse, so it was, in my opinion, it was not the best decision. So he banished the Chessy cat. And the thing is, I changed it. I summoned a link one, it's Snatchy. I summoned Capsi. I go chain link. He goes chain link. He summoned two. Yeah, he resolved. He summoned Chessy, so he has Chessy, Dormouse, and Nibiru on field. I was reading he had Super Poly because of how he was thinking, and he ended up having it. So I went like chaining one, chaining two. I knew and now he thought about it. So I figured that it was Super Poly, that he figured that he couldn't activate it anymore because he was locked under the links. That's how you play around Super Poly. So yeah, we ended going for the field spell. Capsi gave us a Marchmao for follow-up. And on resolution, we just went Snatch Effect. We went for Cookie Yummy Way. Cookie Yummy Way booked his both Malice names and Pop Nibiru, so he couldn't threaten us in battle phase. And he sets one, I think. He sets two, I think, and passes turn. So we top decked another cat, and the thing is, we went for like 3 bodies, still not using Lollipop. We had the judgment to play around any impulse or anything, like I don't know. We couldn't play around Super Poly by having judgment because we cannot answer that card. But the thing is, with 3 bodies and still not using Lollipop, he was in a safe spot. So it was good it was a good play to not use the Super Poly there, but he wasn't expecting that we play Acelia. So we went for Acelia. Acelia charged the set one, and it was Super Poly, and I think he just scooped, like he figured like we had OTK. We ended up winning that one. It was a good game. He could have played better, I think, or maybe make another decisions. But I don't know his hand, the rest of his hand. So I don't know. Ended up winning. We OTK'd him, and we won the first one in day 2. So we went into the second round of day 2. We played against a Dracotail opponent, a Mexican guy named Luis, a very cool guy, a very nice person. Shoutouts to Luis. He won the role, and he was on Dracotail. I don't remember much, but the first game, even if he won the role, that we had obedience. Yeah, like we had to like we followed him, so it was like a mid board. The thing is, like, we went for drones or engage, something like that. Like, I think we went for engage for drones, activate drones. He flamed us, and we still had prosperity and school obedience. So I wanted to bait the Ash, so I went for prosperity first. Cost 6, like a bit desperate, like to show like I don't have nothing, I don't have anything. He asked us, then we went obedience, sound bodies. I knew he had 5 mana in hand, yeah, because we didn't forward him, but we like had a combination of imperm on the Arthalion, and he didn't have a good hand. So yeah, we ended up like with obedience, it was a lot. Like, we knew his whole hand because he used it for the fusion summon for Arthalion. So we didn't know one card in hand, and when we had the 3 names and we went for the link one, we placed a Croaky, I think. So if he had the Neve, then it didn't matter. So yeah, then we just started playing. There, like, he used 5 mana effect, so it was very good for us because we would know what he was we had in hand, because he had only 2 cards in hand. One was 5 mana, one was unknown. So he used 5 mana, used one of his cards from hand. It was a Ghost Bell, I think, yeah. And used Arthalion, made Arthalion, and he thought about it like, and he just grabbed the Ghost Bell, and then I played around Ghost Bell and OTK. And game 2, I had Purge and Imperm, and he goes normal summon. This is very, very interesting. He goes normal summon Lucias, and I had the Imperm and I had the Purge. So I thought, like, what's the correct order? No, I think I only had Imperm. Yeah, I think I only had Imperm. But the thing is, do I Imperm Lucias or do I Imperm Arthalion, right? And the thing is, because I have to play around 5 mana, right? I have to play around the Fallen and the Virtuous spell, the quick spell. So I thought, and I let Lucias resolve. He grabbed 5 mana, so I knew he didn't have 5 mana before. Now he uses 5 mana. He uses Lucias from field, and I think it was also a Gospel from hand. He summons Arthalion. Now I know he doesn't have many names. Then he goes Arthalion effect. I chain my Imperm, and then he chains the Fallen and the Virtuous, pops Arthalion. He gets back the cards, sets the Rahu. So he gets into his place. And then I figured, like, because he grabbed back the 5 mana. So with the Rahu set, then he can fuse 5 mana with Urgula, and then he has strong end board. Like, by having a bad hand, because also with the Fallen and the Virtuous, he sent Albion. Albion is gonna set the same card in the end phase, so I didn't have a good hand. So I was thinking after, and there was like a scenario where Imperm on Lucias stopped his turn at all, because if he chains the Fallen and the Virtuous on Lucias, he now loses one Draco Tail body. So if he doesn't have another in hand, then I win, right? But the thing is, I lose either way if he has Fallen and the Virtuous and a Draco Tail in hand. So I have to put him in a scenario that he doesn't have another Draco Tail in hand. That was the only scenario where Imperm would give me enough value. So I should have Impermed Lucias, putting him on not having another Draco Tail in hand, because Imperm was my only interaction there on his turn. So if I Impermed here, if I Imperm on Lucias, if he pops Lucias, then 5 mana, if he doesn't have Draco Tail in hand, then 5 mana doesn't do anything, right? He needs Draco Tails to fuse. So it was a misplay on my part. I should have Impermed the Lucias, and it did cost me the game. I lost the game too. I didn't have much. Like, I normal summon a cat. He just popped it with the Fallen and the Virtue spell, and then I was like, okay, battle phase. I mean, end of my phase 1. He was like, sure. Battle phase. Oh, he started activating some cards. Like, he activated like Sting to don't lose the Sting if I did have the evenly. I didn't have the evenly. I just wanted to see how he reacted. We had a lot of time, so it didn't matter. So I just wanted to like test my opponent to see what he would do. And yeah, I just went main phase 2 and then scooped. So we went to game 3. Game 3, I opened Inscription. He did Fuwalos me. But under Inscription, I'm like, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna give you 2 draws. I'm gonna end on a decent board. A decent board which you cannot beat with Engine. So if you're under Inscription. So I just ended like on 2 level 1s, 1 Capsule Yami Way, surprise set. He's under inscription, so I just pass turn, he normal Mululu. Like he tried to play, but it wasn't enough. Like I had my engine going and he was under inscription. He just end up setting 1 card. I popped it, I think, with like I forced with surprise summon back. Oh no, I just let him set and I top decked another inscription. I go start my main inscription again, and he just, I don't remember if he let me play it out, but it was a lot. Yeah. So we won that one, even though we lost the roll. So we're 2-0 in round 10. I mean, day 2. So we're 9-1. Yeah, on the 10th round. We're secured into top 16, but we need to win one of the 2 last rounds to get into top 8. So round number 11, we played against James Markowitz, our YCS Mérida 2025 YCS champion. Huge shout outs to you, man. It was a pleasure meeting you. Very nice guy. And he was like, it was his day. Like, he was opening insane, and he also played his cards correctly. And shout outs to you, man. Very well deserved. So he was on Yami Mitsurugi. We lost the roll again against Yami Mitsurugi. He won the first duel. We won the second game, and we went to the third game. We ended up being able to come back, even though he started game 3. We came back, but the thing is, we took a lot of time, him and me, figuring out how to outplay our opponent, and I ended up rushing a bit in a moment, and I didn't do the right plays. But the thing is, first time since these new rules started, we went to time. The clock was behind me, so I didn't notice. And James, I think, was also like focusing on the game, so he didn't notice. So he didn't even rush me. Like, neither of us want to get a round loss, a double loss in the second to last round. Also, he was already secured in top cut, so he like could have rushed me, so we can like see if one of us was winning. In my opinion, I was winning that game because he did have like the Mitsurugi stuff, but the Mitsurugi stuff into Yami stuff in the grind game is not enough. Yami is gonna outgrind you. But the thing is, it was a double loss. Time got called. Neither of us could like. The thing is, it was a double loss. That doesn't matter. It was my fault, mainly because I did took some time thinking thinking a lot about how to play it out and come back from against a Yami Mitsurugi going second. And I was in a good position, but it wasn't. There wasn't enough time, so double loss. So my second loss from on the tournament. So we're 9-2, and we're just 1 round away from top 8. And now I see in the top tables, like, there were a lot of good players. Like on table 1. We had, like, the last round we had Yacine playing against James, awesome players. We had Philip from Europe, from Germany. Shout out to Philip, crazy good player. You have in the top tables Jiv from the United States, amazing player. There is Christian Urena. They're playing also, like, a good player playing Yami Mitsurugi, so it's even scarier. There is also Pakawat playing Dracotail, man. I don't ever want to play against Pac in a YCS playing Dracotail, man. That deck is scary and he's way too good to for us to like. I don't want to get into that game, man. Like, I want to avoid that. He's way too good. So it was rough. Like, every player in the top tables were good players. And we ended up playing against Christian Urena, probably the worst scenario because he's playing Yami Mitsurugi. So we knew that if we lost the roll, there was like zero chance, like little chance to win that one. So yeah, we ended up playing against him. Shout out Christian, amazing player, amazing person. And we lost the roll against Yami Mitsurugi. He started playing. We only had like Ash and Purge. The thing is, we top deck Nibiru, so I played it in my head and I saw a winning line where he commits the 5th summon, and then we need him, and then we can just play with the cats and bait the Murakumo because we had a Crow Key. The thing is, we got into that situation, but I was missing one card to discard of Murakumo effect. Like, he kept it until the end. It was very good, very good play by him. So we got into that situation. I was just wishing he forgets about Murakumo effect or thinking like he already used it, but he didn't. Of course, like, it was full of. Yeah, I was foolish. But yeah, we just ended up scooping. We went to game number 2. We started, we just went for we asked his full wall or something like that, or called by it. And and he only had like Yami cards, so he wasn't able to push into that board. We just booked up Moon 1, popped another one, and that was it. So we went into game 3. That was a very good game. I mean, like, he played it very good, his turn, in my opinion. We had Purge, Ash, Nibiru, engage. So our hand is weak. It's very weak. Like, I mean, the hand traps are strong, but we need a good top deck because we are gonna for sure have to waste the Purge at one point. We ended up doing it. So engage weren't like starters at all because Purge locks us out of Kagari. So the thing is, he started with Marshmallow, I think, and he goes for a play where he, like, I read his play, he wanted to get into a Herald as soon as possible to play around Droll, because Droll was his main lose condition, because later I figured that he had only cards like pre-preparation, like prayers. So he ended up trying to force a Herald early, and by doing so, he had to normal summon 1 Droll from hand. So I already knew 2 cards from his hand, like, that was Marshmallow and Droll. I didn't know the other 3 cards, but he threatens a Herald, and then I go Nip there, and then okay, I clear everything, summon token in attack. The token was 2200, and I had a Nibiru, 3k attack Nibiru. And then he goes on resolution, he goes prayers. And I thought about it, and I asked him. So now he has 2 cards in hand. Then he goes pre-prep, and I purged him. He made me waste the Purge. I didn't want to use the Purge because if I could get rid of the Niv, or if he gets rid of it for me, then I could use Engage and I could play with Kagari. But I had to use the Purge. Like, I wasn't gonna let pre-preparation resolve. So he just passed on 1 in hand, field spell, the minion field spell activated, the token on field, and I had my nib and 2 engages in hand. It was game 3. He did have a play with like linking the token off for Link Spider and summoning back the Sorrow Cat, and SP banished my Nibiru, but it was very good played by him leaving the Nibiru there because he knew I couldn't crash it. So if I happened to have Obedience or Engage, I couldn't like use those cards, so they were dead cards. But and he already recognized that if he like if I have a cat in hand, even though if he goes for SP, like with 1 or 2, with 2, if one cat is cap C, then I can just play around SP easily. Or if I have 2 cats, then SP doesn't do nothing at all. So he recognizes that, I guess. So he just passed on that, on the token. So I have Nib on field, engage in hand, and I top decked Skulled Obedience. So I couldn't activate any of my 3 cards in hand. So I just ran into the token because otherwise on the next turn he was gonna go for Link Spider, Field Spell Effect, Chariot, Special Summon, and then I'm destroyed. So I just passed turn, wishing that he doesn't top decks any normal summon that can go into an Almirage or any like Mitsuri card. So I passed turn, and he top decks Fuwalos that he kept it in both side deck because he was playing crossout, so it was the crossout Chariot, and he normal summons the Fuwalos, and then I knew I was dead. Like I just wanted to see if he had the Almirage. He did have the Almirage, then go Field Spell Effect, Chariot, Capsi, Marshmallow, and then I was losing for sure. It was OTK like in a million ways. And I showed him my hand, engage, Skulled Obedience, and he showed me that he had the trap. He just had the trap, so he was just straight up packing his stuff if I normal summoned any cat, but I didn't have any cat, so it was a funny situation. He ended up winning. Shoutouts to him. I wasn't lucky enough, and I was very frustrated because I could have won the second to last round against James if I played if I played faster, and I could have won the last round against Christian Urena if I top decked like anything but any cat. So even losing the dice roll against Yami Mitsurugi, I was close. I was very close. But yeah, I was a bit sad because I thought that I was not getting into top 8. So I was sad, but yeah. And then the standings came out, and I was the only X3 that made it to top 8. Why was that? I think it was because I won against Julian on round 4, and Julian got second place in standing. Like after losing against me, he didn't lose any single round. He carried us with the standings. So shoutouts to you, Julian. You carried us with the standing. So we got into top 8. It was a very funny moment. Like it was amazing. So we got into top 8. We were still in the tournament, and we were playing against the first place on Swiss, Yacine, our boy, our man. Huge shout out to you, Yacine. Amazing player, got first place after losing the first round. He didn't lose any other round until the finals. So shout out to you. It's an amazing mentality he has. Like it's very. I wish I can get there someday. Like having that strong mentality to, even though you lost the first one, you go and win all of them. It's amazing. So we were playing against Yacine, Christian K9. So now top 8, first round. we won the roll. I was like, oh man, I'm so close to getting into top 4. First game, I didn't matter. He didn't have much engine, so it doesn't matter. Like, I just ended on like an SP and Lollipop, and said I had like Purge, surprise. No, not even surprise. Like, he trolled us, I think, something like that. Yeah, I think he trolled us, but we still had like a Marshmallow in hand that we didn't want to activate because we knew he was playing K9, right? So we didn't want to turn on that Izuna that he did had. So good for us that we didn't activate the Marshmallow. So the thing is, he just couldn't like beat our Snatchy, I mean our Synchro, without using an effect, so we could tag him out. We made a cookie, like he did summon like Jokul, summon Sulfador effect. I had an imperm. I impermed him. I didn't get to surprise because he trolled us. I impermed him, and yeah, we impermed Sulfador. And on the rest, we made Cookie, Yumi Way, effect, Book of Moon, both. And he just recognized that he was not gonna win. So he scooped. We go to game number 2. And he started. We had I don't know if it was Purulia or Fuelos. I think it was Purulia or Fuel. Yeah, I think it was Fuelos. But the thing is, he ended on Reaper. I think we impermed the Reaper, but he made a Bylon. I don't know how it's called, but the guy that Books of Moon, that's Book of Moon, the Psychic, the XYZ rank 5, and we had 4 cuts in hand and a Prosperity. We needed a way to not lose against. I mean, the Reaper was there, so Marshmallow wasn't like working. He can just negate it for free. He knows that might be the only effect in hand that we're gonna use. We had Prosperity, and we go Prosperity for 6. We grabbed an Engage, and then on rest, he looked at us and trolled us. It was funny. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing much this game, so let's go to game number 3, because all my plays were losing to the Book of Moon of Bylon. So I told him like I had all cats, so one Book of Moon was FTK against us. So we went to game number 3. And game number 3 was an interesting one. I opened Imperm, Droplets, Capsi, and Called by the Grave. So it was a very good hand, and it was a very good hand. So we went for normal summon Capsi effect. He impermed us. Sure. Link 1 into Snatchy effect, plays field spell effect, target Capsi. It went through. Nice. We went for Capsi Yami Way. And since we don't have surprise, we don't have to get to Marshmallow. So I grabbed Cookie and Lollipop and discarded the second Droplets. So now we have Lollipop, Cookie, Droplets, Imperm, and we had the Cold Bite, but we had to waste it on Purulia in the standby phase, because I figured like if I want to get into a board, I have to give him 2 draws either with Purulia or either with Fuwalos. So I better put him on, better have the Fuwalos, because it's gonna be 2 draws anyways. Like, it doesn't matter if I hold it for Fuwalos, right? So I just called by the Purulia. So I have the 2 cats and the Droplets and the Imperm. and I have on field the Kapsi Yamiway. I asked him anything on res. He didn't have anything. So now we have two decisions. We either lose to Nibiru by committing and doing the play of the Metal Marcher and all that, because we need like to waste our two names to do that, because we didn't get to Marshmallow on the surprise, so that's an extra body for free. So we either lose to Nibiru, or we risk if he has like a back row removal, he gets rid of our droplets and our imperm, that are cards that I value a lot against K9 decks. So I wanted to make a nib. I mean, make a herald on my board. So I went for the play of Metal Marcher. I had the Capsi, I had the two cats in hand. So I special summon one cat, the Lollipop, I special summon the Cookie. I went into Metal Marcher target Cookie, Capsi Yamiway, special summon, and on res, he did have the Nibiru. So he nipped us, we just had one token, imperm, droplets, and the field spell. That Nibiru destroyed us. He was playing one single Nibiru, and he did have it in hand. Game 3, when we exposed losing us by losing to Nibiru, he did have it. It sucked a lot, because we also had one play that could play around Nibiru. So we just went for we turned the token into a Link Spider so we can psych it off with droplets. So we had like any normal summon, if we stop him, any normal summon can get us into Almirage field spell. With the Almirage, we can use the field spell, get back Capsi gets a surprise, so we're in a good spot there. But so we ended up losing that one. Like, he went for the Jokul and Lantern, and with the imperm and the droplet, we stopped him. He couldn't get to play, but attacked us with the Nibiru and attacked us with an XYZ. So then the XYZ turned into Zeus. Yes, Zeus. And so Zeus just checks like almost every top deck we could have, except of Capsi and Surprise, and maybe Prosperity getting us into those cards. So we had like four good top decks possible in 33 cards. It wasn't like a good chance of us having a good top deck. And yeah, we top decked Ash, and it wasn't enough. Like, he did have follow-up. We were low on life, but like we had like 2600, something like that. So we lost. So the play that I should have done to play around Nibiru, this is what I want to tell you guys, is we have Capsi Yamiway on field, right? And we have two cats in hand. We did discard one droplets. So now we have this option of going with the Capsi, we go into Snatchy. So instead of just wasting our bodies to lose to Nibiru, we turn, I'll show you here. We turn Capsi into Snatchy. So we have Snatchy on field. Then we can special summon Lollipop. Okay? We synchro with these two into Lollipop Yamiway. Lollipop Yamiway brings back this and this, and here we are on a nip position, right? I think you have to summon this and this, so our opponent doesn't expect that we can go straight for a Herald. So we can bait him here, and we can turn these two into an SP and make our endboard be Lolipo, SP, imperm set, droplet set, cookie in hand, and we're beating Nip that way. Because if he happens to like read our play and Nibiru us here, like sure, we can I would maybe chain one of these. I would maybe chain the Capsi because it doesn't matter. Like we get a big token, but we keep the cookie in hand. So now the token, we take the token, we make a link spider, we special summon cookie, we go cookie effect, target the Nibiru. So the Nibiru is now 2k, which is very important because we have Mignon. So we can synchro these two off into cookie, not using the effect, and cookie is at 21 attack, so Nibiru cannot run over it. Also, if he happens to like tribute summon, I don't know, Lupis or Izuna that can maybe crash or get over cookie, we still have droplet set, so we're in a good position if they do that. If they do so, like they are losing a body and then they are like forced to activate something to play, and then cookie can give us value, but we lose horrible to a gold spell, but or even a cold buy, but we still can like get into a grind game at least. I mean, if it's gold spell, not at all, but yeah, I think you can understand me here. But this was a much better play than what I did. I just threw, and well, we have to learn from those mistakes. It was 100% a misplay on my part. Like I wanted to protect my back row, but that was like just straight up losing to Nibiru. He did have it. Even though he just played one Nibiru. We shouldn't never like risk it that much if the backup plan is not a bad plan. Like it was still a very strong plan. In that way, we could also like save these for follow up, and we don't risk getting in a top deck situation against Christian K9. If they get the engine rolling, then they will have bodies to sack off to normal summon the level 5s, and then the grind game wouldn't be possible. If they have one hand trap, they check almost every top deck. If they go for Zeus, like Jacin did, we're cooked. So yeah, we ended up losing. Jacin won. He won top 4, and he lost the finals against James. So James won the whole event with Yami Mitsurugi. And yeah, that was the event. It was a very good event. Like we did perform very good. Like even though we went X3 like 9-3, right? 9-3. Even though we didn't go with the expected score to top 8, I do think that we deserve that eighth place spot or being the best X3, because our rounds were not that easy. Like we won against good players, lost against also only good, very strong players. So so tiebreak should be on our favor, like at least once in a while, right? Like it usually is not the best, not the best for us, the standing, but for once it was, and I was very grateful to get into top 8. So that's why I'm not that mad about losing in top 8. Like we still got like a very decent place, and we did our best. Now we know we're not gonna commit those kind of misplays again. Like I said at the beginning of the video, thank you if you stayed this long. I want to be the best Yu-Gi-Oh player ever. That's my main goal. So we have to learn from these mistakes. there's no other way of coming back from those errors, from those mistakes. We have to just learn from them and go on, and that's the only way. I really recommend you guys to have that mindset. It's what, if it wasn't for that mindset of mine, I would not be here today, like playing competitively, because I have failed a lot in this game. Like I have misplayed horrible misplayed a lot, like being close to winning events, like losing a finals, WCQ finals, losing a YCS finals, losing a, I have lost 2 semifinals in YCSs. So I've lost plenty of top 8s in YCSs, and I'm still here, I'm still competing, I still want that win. I know I will get it someday, hopefully soon. So I'll never give up on that, and I encourage you all to do so, to keep grinding together. Like you can hear at the comments, or even in my socials, like you have my socials at the description. You can ask me like what do I think about decks, plays. Like we can grow together to become better players. It helps me a lot to grow as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So yeah, thank you everyone for staying this long into the video. Like I know it's not maybe an idea that maybe many people will watch, but maybe it can get to the right person, and maybe I can help you to wake up this competitive, I don't know how to say it, but this competitive, like competitiveness, I don't know how to say it, but the hunger to be better at something, the hunger to be better at the game. I wish I can like spread that into you guys. Let's get better at the game. Let's rise the level of us Yu-Gi-Oh players, so we can all be better together, and I can really achieve being the best player. Like if everyone is if every one of us is a better player, then we can all grow together. So that's my idea. That's why I spread that much knowledge whenever I can with the deck profiles. I know I'm not that active on socials, like doing deck profiles and stuff, but because I do work a lot here in my store. I like, if I'm not working, I'm preparing for events, so I don't have that much time to to share with you. But I want to give more time into that, so we can all grow together. So thank you again. Huge shout outs to everyone that I mentioned, my family, my girlfriend, my girlfriend's family, my friends. My friends are amazing, my Yu-Gi-Oh friends, my teammates, my testing partners, like John Guerrero, Pablo Dominguez, Cristian Naranjo here from my store, Jose Vera, my brother, Gabriel Osorio. He also, like, I've tested enough, I think, against Luna Light. He's a very solid Luna Light player. Thank you all. I do owe you a lot, and I hope we can keep walking this road together. Love you all. See you. Goes for life.